Hello and welcome to the very first episode of SHC Badgers Basketball. A new chapter unfolds. I'm Sanaja Andre reporting from Spring Hill College. It isn't new information that the coronavirus pandemic has greatly impacted the globe. It's been very hard, but we are all adjusting to the new norms. Every college has had to adapt, and every student has had to adapt. Throughout this document series, I will be tackling what it's like to be a collegiate athlete during the coronavirus pandemic. Specifically, I will be introducing you or reintroducing you to the men and women's basketball teams here on campus. Both teams had to deal with fluctuation of schedules and cancellation of games, all while maintaining their mental toughness, while maintaining their GPAs as well, in order to be eligible to play. And it is my honor to share what they had to endure with all of you. Being that Spring Hill College is a D2 school, basketball was one of the sports that really unified campus and brought together the community. In order to slow down the number of cases, protocol has been taken into extensive measure in order to ensure the safety of everyone on campus. Masks are heavily enforced, as well as social distancing protocol. The NCAA has strictly enforced that every college team do their part to ensure everyone's safety, so that way a season is even possible this year. I spoke with a few of the athletes on campus who actually had the chance to have a season this past semester. They elaborated how hard it was to be a student athlete during the pandemic. The women's team has come a long way from demanding their right to play as an official team back in the 1980s. The women's team has still kept their mental toughness and their perseverance throughout the years in order to dominate on and off the court. I spoke with Joe Nyland, athletic director. He had this to say.
I think mental toughness is something we don't do enough of. My grandfather used to have a saying, tough times don't last, tough people do. And one of the things in coaching, I've been in coaching 40 years too, is that, in sports teaches you resiliency and how to overcome adversity. But most of the obstacles in sports, it's just a game. Life's going to throw you bigger obstacles, and some of them are going to be very hard to overcome. But through sports, you can learn that discipline and mentally grinding through things when you don't really want to do it or you don't think you can do it. You stick to it and you keep pushing through. And that's something you're going to have to do in life because, you're going to face some really big obstacles out there. And you got to have mental toughness. And that resiliency and that mental toughness will see you through. Life's a grind. It's going to be tough. And sometimes you look at that mountain and you go, how am I going to get over it? But you look at all the things that's happened in life, in history, and how so many people and so many obstacles have been overcome, because usually it's the people that are really mentally tough that do it.
I spoke with Coach McConico from the women's team. She had this to say.
How does your team really embody, what would you say your team really embodied this season, given the circumstances?
I guess I would say we embodied patience. I said, because day in and day out, you just never knew what you were going to get. You didn't know if you were going to be playing or practicing. So I feel like, the patience piece was big for our team this year. I think this year is going to help us for next year. I think we'll be prepared. This, to me, was like a cheat sheet year where we can get a chance to see what we need to work on. So we're excited about next year. Go Badgers!
I spoke with Coach Kennedy from the men's team. He had this to say.
We really got started in mid-January, played our first game February 2nd after 7 practices. So we've packed a lot in a very short period of time. There's a sadness to it because I think with this young team, we've really been coming along and progressing. And it's disappointing that the season's now going to end because we'd like to keep playing and keep moving on forward. Well, I'm so thankful, that God has given me an opportunity to coach here at Spring Hill and to work with these guys. And, that's where the disappointment comes in because the season's going to end. And it's just so enjoyable working with such a great group of young men. We told guys, you have to create your own environment. And so we expect the bench to be really enthusiastic, really loud, and really supportive of the squad that's out on the floor. I expect us to play hard. I expect us to play together. We talk about attitude and effort all the time, and that our attitude and effort needs to exceed that of our opponent. So that's what we're looking to do. I think the thing that we've really pushed our guys about having a blue-collar work ethic, not taking things for granted, appreciating the fact that we get to play because a lot of teams right now are maybe shut down or maybe they've gotten knocked out, and we still get to play. So a heart full of gratitude with our guys and a lot of effort and grit. Our message is don't take anything for granted. Be thankful, have a heart full of appreciation and thankfulness for the little things that we have, whether it's just being able to go to a basketball game or buy a popcorn at the concession stand. Let's never take those things for granted and get out and support people in the community.
Join me next episode to hear all about the women's team and what they had to endure during this past season. Thank you for tuning in to SHC Badgers Basketball, A New Chapter Unfolds. Your reporter Sanaja Andre signing off.